All right, check this out. You guys are back on the Hater World, and I'm Blue Devil. What we have going on today is a special interview with my homie TrapBoiiX6. Now, look, if you guys don't know who he is, a lot of you guys know him from the music lives and just being around the studio. You know, so I thought I'd give you guys a special introduction to my boy. What's up, doggy? How you doing?
What's up, fool? What's up?
You ready for this interview?
Hell yeah, I'm ready.
All right, fool. Look, let's start it off like this. Let me know what city you come from, fool, where you were born and raised, my boy.
I come from Calexico, and that's where I've been living my whole life.
So you were born and raised there?
Yeah.
Do you know that the hospital there is like very small? So you sure you were born in that hospital or in El Centro?
No, I was actually born in Brawley.
In Brawley?
In Brawley. Yeah,
okay.
but I grew up in Calexico.
Do you remember, did you ever live in Brawley, or you were just born there and right away went to Calexico?
No, I was just born there and I went to Calexico.
Okay. So you were in Calexico your whole life?
Yeah, my whole life.
How old are you?
How old am I right now?
Do you want to answer that or not?
No.
Okay, let's not go there. Let's not go there. Okay, so talk to me about growing up, fool, in Calexico. How was it growing up? What are some of the things you did with your mom and dad? Did you have your mom and dad? You know, how were your days as a young kid? Talk to me about that.
Well, I had my parents with me growing up, but then later I only stayed with my mom.
So how long did your parents stay together, or your age, like 10 years?
My age was a little bit over 10 years.
Okay. So how was it growing up with your dad and mom?
It was cool, bro. It was cool. I got a lot of support from them. You know, they helped me out with whatever I needed at that age, being young, you know. But, I mean, there was tough times, too, where it was just hard, you know.
Why? Did you guys grow up poor in Calexico? Were you guys like a family that had a lot of money, a little bit of money? How was it?
Nah, it was different. My family was poor, bro. So I didn't really have you know, I didn't have everything I needed when I was a kid, you know, like seeing kids that had everything in their pockets, stuff like that. Like, to me, it was just different. I had to make myself my own to get money, you know, from the support from them and as mine for myself.
Wait. How were you making money at 10 years old, dog? We're talking about 10. We're talking about how it was growing up with your parents when they were together. We're not talking about money. You weren't making money at 10 years old, were you?
I was working at a barbershop when I was at that age.
At 10?
Yeah.
What were you doing at 10?
I was cleaning, bro.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Then I take that back.
I think that was like my first job I ever had at that age, dog.
At 10?
At 10.
With both your parents?
With both my parents.
So what did your dad do? Was your dad like a mechanic or?
No, he used to work in the fields. A long time ago, yeah. He was a field worker. My mom didn't really have a job growing up because she was in disability because she not broke, but she fractured her back, I guess, and it was different, you know.
So your dad was the only breadwinner?
Yeah, he was the only one that was.
So why would you have to get a job? Why would you have to work?
Well, I mean, I seen it as I didn't want to ask them for money, so I rather had my own money, you know.
Yeah.
Because of the situation, how I was growing up and how things were when I had to be the one to ask them for money, you know. I didn't like that. I rather get my own, do something, you know, made a plan at that age.
Okay. I get it. I understand. Yeah. Were you still going to school?
Yeah, I was still going to school.
So then when your parents moved and they went their own way, how was that? Now that were you the only sibling? Were you the only brother, the only sister?
No, it's actually two of us.
Two?
Me and my sister.
How old is your sister? Or is she older than you?
Yeah, she's older than me.
So you were the man of the house after your dad left?
Yeah.
How was that?
It was cool. I got to, you know, I learned some responsibilities out of that, you know, and I mean, I just learned a lot of stuff from just becoming the man from the house, bro, you know. Did
your childhood change a lot? Like, did you go from like playing outside and having fun to now having to work extra hours at the barbershop?
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't really spend much time at home like that, how I used to when I was a kid, but yeah, it was hard for me to do that, bro. I didn't like being at home. That was just me, you know.
Did you have a lot of friends growing up?
I met a lot of people, you know. I met a lot of people growing up, and it was cool, bro. I got a lot of help from them, too.
I'm just trying to figure out why you would have to work at 10.
I don't know. I seen it as a good thing, you know. Like, a lot of people inspired you know how it is when you grow up. A lot of people try to give you good advice and tell you, hey, you should start like.
But 10 is small, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, 10 is small, but still, you know, it's a good advice from an older person to tell you that, because that motivates you to even do good things for yourself, being at that age, you know.
So look, being so close to Mexico, because for those that don't know what Calexico is, tell them where that's at. I know where it's at, but tell the people watching where that's at.
Calexico it's right on the border of Mexicali and Calexico. They're like back to back. You can see the fence from that there to the other side, you know. So it's like they call it the sister. What is it called? Like a parenthood, I guess, whatever. So it's so small that you know everybody just knows each other there, bro.
So Calexico is the United States or Mexico?
Well, going back to it, I think, well, Calexico used to be Mexico, you know? But then it's
a trick question, homie.
It is a trick question, because you got a lot of people coming in
so
from over there.
So is Calexico the U.S. or is it Mexico?
No, Calexico is the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why were you trying to give me a history lesson?
Well, I mean, it's because it's hard, because, you know, this thing goes way back, bro.
Yeah, but we're not talking about what United States used to be. You're talking about it used to be Mexico? The entire California used to be Mexico,
Yeah,
but I don't think that matters. So Calexico is in California?
It's in California, yeah.
Okay.
It's right on the line.
Did you ever go to Mexico as a young kid?
Yeah.
A lot?
Most of my time, yeah, I did. That's right. I used to go there every weekend, and, well, when my dad was here, you know.
A little louder.
I used to spend a lot of time in Mexicali, you know, going there. Every weekend was my thing, just to go. But it was more like hanging out with the family, you know, the family time, just chilling. Everybody's having a blast, drinking and shit like that, you know. So to me, like, Mexicali on the weekends, it was a fun day for me.
So you say you were raised more in Mexicali or Calexico?
Calexico was it first. At a very young age, but then later, Mexicali was more of my, you know, getting raised from there, you know.
Okay, so let's talk about this. We're talking about 10, 12, 13 now. How about your teenage years? What did you do when you were a teenager?
What did I do when I was a teenager? I didn't really like school that much, bro. So I left school, and it was just, I don't know, I just fell out, bro. I was out of control at that age. I was fucking hitting the fucking juvenile halls at that time.
The Pookie?
All kinds of shit, yeah. I was on a mess. Yeah, I was at a mess.
So you were hitting the Pookie in middle school?
In middle school.
Why?
I don't know, just shit changed for me after that, bro.
Who gave you the Pookie?
I don't remember, dog. It's just... I remember just being...
The Pookie is meth.
Yeah, the Pookie is meth, I know. But I didn't hit it, though. It was just like a little... You sabes como un chatazo, güey.
What does that mean?
That's the first time. It's like a little snort, you know?
Llave.
Un llavazo, yeah. I took a llave, tried it for my first time, and, man, that shit got me fucked up.
In middle school?
In middle school. That was the first time I ever tried meth like that.
Well, they say in Calexico, there's a bunch of tecatos.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Did you ever try that?
No.
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 So in middle school, you did drugs for the first time?
Yeah, I did drugs for the first time.
You didn't start at the gateway, like weed,
marijuana, and all
then
that?
Work your way up?
No, I went straight into meth before I hit the weed.
You're a dirtbag.
I mean, fuck.
I'm sorry, you're supposed to be professional, but you're a dirtbag, homie. No cocaine before meth?
Nada de eso. It was just straight meth before weed.
Damn.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, everything was just different for me because I didn't start from one point to the other. It was just like I did things backwards and me fui recio, güey.
That's what it sounds like.
Me fui recio, güey.
So in middle school, you were smoking every day, or you were doing lines every day, or how was it? Like, was it a one-time thing, or did you continue to do it?
I was continuing doing it, but not as much as using it every day, you know? It was here and there, here and there. So, like me, it was like whenever I would go out somewhere, for sure I had it in my pocket, you know, and let's go hit it. But that had to come something with it for me to be actually in the mode to, you know, get hyped up and then paz, me lo pego, you know?
8th grade, 9th grade?
Yeah, 8th and 9th grade, yeah.
How about your friends? Did they do this stuff too?
No, not really. I mean, it's because I knew a lot of people. I would hang out with the good people, and I would hang out with the bad people también. ¿Sabes
Oh,
cómo?
so you had
a little mixture of everything, yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of people knew me. They knew what I was doing and shit like that. Some people hated me, some people loved me, you know, but vice versa.
Okay, so that's 8th grade. You were introduced to drugs. Now high school. Did you finish high school?
No.
What happened?
I got dropped out when I was 17 or 18. I don't remember. I was already an adult, bro.
So you decided not to go.
No, it's because I had too much attendance problems, bro. That was my thing.
Why?
I had to go from one city to the other, because since I was doing so much in where I was at.
Where? Calexico?
Calexico, yeah. Calexico didn't want me there no more, so I had to go to the other, El Centro, to that school, and then keep on going to wanting to go back to the high school, which I did in my last year in the 12th grade, but then I got dropped out, bro.
They dropped you out?
They dropped me out, yeah.
So you were doing so bad that they switched you from Calexico to El Centro?
To El Centro.
And that was not possible for you to do?
Not possible, nah. I had to hit the fucking county schools. I went to continuation. I was getting locked up, like...
Juvenile hall?
Juvenile hall.
Why? What did you do?
Just thugging.
So let's talk about this. When was the first time you went to juvenile hall?
The first time I was 12.
12?
Yeah.
What did you go to juvenile hall for?
I robbed the liquor store.
So you robbed the liquor store? Where, in Calexico?
In Calexico, yeah.
What would cause?
It's because before there used to be a gas station where now it's a liquor store.
Where?
Where the movies are at, Calexico 10 Theaters. There used to be a gas station right there.
Is that by the Food for Less?
No, it's over there by Walmart.
Oh yeah, I know where that's at.
There used to be a gas station, but they switched it over to a liquor store, and I was all pingoed out.
At 12?
Sí, me chingué Rigotriles and
what is that?
R2s.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know what R2s are?
No.
Everybody
I know
used
pingas.
to fuck. Yeah, but R2s, a lot of people from Calexico used to fuck with that shit.
Well, I'm not from Calexico.
Well, I used to fuck with that shit, you know?
Okay.
Chingué esas madres, fucking went in with 2 other fools with me, and we just straight fucking robbed the store at gunpoint.
At 12?
At 12. That was my first time I ever did some shit like that.
And you went to juvenile hall?
I went
you got
to juvenile
caught?
hall.
How did you get caught?
They told on me.
So you got away with the crime right there and then?
Yeah, I got away.
How much, would you take money? What'd you take?
Yeah, we took like $700 que estaban en el cash register. We took all the beer inside the refrigerator, like toda esa, and then we beat that fool from the store.
Why?
He got all stupid. Nos sacó el mop head, that big old mop head que usan para limpiar, güey, con la cubeta.
Yeah.
Like, se quiso poner pendejo, güey, and fucking... No sé, this other fool just went in, prajas, le pegó, güey, sacó esa madre, se lo doy, and vente, vámonos, we just went all out. I was, no sé, I blacked out after that, dude.
So then you guys got away, went home, counted the money, split the money.
No, we went to the movies after that, bro. After we robbed that store. We went to the store. Yeah, we robbed the store, we went to the movies that is right there. We seen there the whole fucking... The cops roll up and everything. They even went to the movies and they were looking for our faces, bro.
Damn.
Yeah. So this shit took a while for them to come up and get to me, you know? And I was in the process already. At that time, I was getting kicked out of the school already at that time. Like, I was already heading to the county school. Entonces, when I was getting transitioned from the school to go to the county, they rode up to me in the district. Me cayeron los federales, todo, güey. The undercovers and all that shit, and just went straight into the fucking... A ver qué rollo.
And so, they arrested you at the theater?
No.
Like later, days later?
This happened right before Christmas. I got arrested in the beginning of the year.
Okay, so it took a while.
Yeah, it took a while.
And they took you to juvenile hall?
Yeah, they took me to jail. I was there for like 7 months.
In juvenile hall?
Yeah, 7 months in juvenile
That's all they
hall.
gave you, 7 months?
Yeah, they were trying to give me a year and a half or some shit like that, but
Did anybody rat on you, like the people you were with?
The other dude told on me, bro. On both of us.
Was he from a gang?
No. He was just a random dude that we used to kick it with. He was a little...
And he told on you?
Yeah, he told on us. He gave out everything. He said everything that was just...
Speak louder.
Yeah, this fool just literally just threw us out there, bro.
Did he get arrested too?
Yeah, he got arrested. He was there, but I didn't even know because right after I got out from my sentencing to come back, I seen el file de que salió ahí, güey, and it said everything that fool said, bro.
Oh.
Everything, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? You know? He's all like, fool, this fool literally told on you. You don't know? I'm like, where? He's all like, look, this dun 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 dun. I was like, damn. And he was getting released when I came back, dude.
At 12?
Yeah.
You sure you don't have your timelines messed up?
No, I'm being serious.
Okay, so then you go to juvenile hall. How was the 7 months in there?
It was cool, bro. Juvenile hall to me was different, you know? But the fucked up thing was that I was just locked in there all the time. The only thing I would come out was either go to education, go to the little, ¿cómo se dice? That little yard that they had, like, to go out for rec and shit.
You're talking about the juvenile hall that's in el centro?
Yeah, no, the one in el centro by the county,
The one with the big old fence in the field in the middle of nowhere?
No, ese no. That's fucking...
That's placement.
No, ese no, way.
What is that one?
Ese es for the fucking kids, bro. For the CPS.
Oh, that's the one that
Betty
has...
McNee se llama esa madre.
Okay, that's the one that's in the middle of nowhere, right?
In the middle of nowhere, it's got the big-ass playground
fence,
and all that shit. Yeah, that's
and they can easily escape.
Yeah, they can easily just jump the fence and bounce.
Okay. That one's by the county, too.
Yeah.
So it's not
I'm
that
more
one?
in there. It's like on the where they do the court process, right behind it.
Oh.
So there's no way you're not getting nada, way.
Can't
Todo
get
está
out?
fenced out, way. Yeah. It's small in there.
It's fun?
It was cool, bro. I got to be a fucking a server allá adentro.
A porter?
Yeah, a little porter también.
So at 12 years old, so then you get out. What do you do after that?
I go back to the fucking streets and just go kick it and get drunk.
What about your mom and dad? I know your dad's gone, but how about your mom?
Well, I mean, something that they didn't like for me from that time was that I was out in the street so much, you know, and they were constantly on me. Hasta me echaban la policía, güey, to fucking go look for me. So Calexico would go y hasta que me encontraran. They see me walking by the streets. Pras. Hey, fool, your mom is looking for you. I'm like, damn, for real? Sí, me llevan hasta mi casa, güey.
Wow. Okay, so then let's talk about that's your first time going to county jail, juvenile hall. Did you go to juvenile hall more times?
Yeah.
How many more times?
I don't know. I literally lost count. I know for sure it was more than fucking 15.
For like little crimes or big crimes?
No, just little things. Possession of, tú sabes, mota, carrying a fucking navaja and shit like that, or go robbing doing a beer runs at the store, shit. Shoplifting a la verga with all kinds of merchandise, over $1,000 worth of stuff, you know, like those shits right there.
No, nothing else big?
No, nada de eso, no.
Okay, so middle school, high school, did you join a gang?
No.
Why not? There's a lot of gangs in Calexico.
Well, I mean, yeah, but...
Big ones.
Nah.
There's 3 gangs.
Yeah, no.
There used to be 4, but now there's 3.
There's 3.
Then you never were enticed to join a gang?
Nah.
Why?
I don't know. I just didn't feel like I fitted into that shit. Like, to me, that was...
You were doing drugs. You were breaking into places. You were going to jail. That's the perfect combo to join a gang.
Well, yeah, pero no sé. I thought about it, bro.
You thought about it?
Yeah, I thought about it. I did think about it, but then, nah.
Did anybody try to recruit you? Like, hey, homie, Kyle, let's go. I want you to be from the barrio.
Some dudes from there, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to say which one. I'll blur it out. I'll beep it out. Which one?
By Pichoneras.
That's not a real gang. Oh, yeah, that is.
Sí.
Oh, yeah, that is.
Because I used to
The
live
Kennedy Gardens.
right in the area right there. So then dudes used
to
come there all the time y pues ya ves, güey. I used to hang out with my neighbor, que ese güey con él hacía todo el desmadre, but that fool did get jumped into there.
I had 2 cousins from there.
Yeah?
Yeah. Blood cousins.
Oh.
Same last name cousins.
Damn.
You know. Yeah, damn.
Damn.
You know. Opposition, of course. You know. So you never joined?
Nah.
They never try to peer pressure you into doing it?
I mean, at times they were where they fucking just bothering, pero like, fuck, I was like, I got annoyed, bro. I didn't like people putting pressure on me, like, it's just, no me gustó eso, güey.
Okay, so
I
then.
didn't feel comfortable.
Okay, so then, you turned 18. What do you do for your 18th birthday?
For my 18th birthday, me fui pa Mexicali a tirar party, güey.
What you do?
I went to the fucking strip, I went to the fucking, a los antros de allá, went to the Momo to get some escorts, homie, you know?
Do you still remember which one was the main one you hit?
Yeah, clandestina.
Clandestina. You were able to drink at 18 in Mexicali?
Yeah, at that time, yeah. Well, I mean, they still do, yeah. At 18, you still get to get drunk.
Okay.
That's what's cool about it, you know?
What's memorable about your 18th birthday?
What's memorable?
Yeah. What did you do that was so memorable?
For my 18th birthday.
Yeah, you went to the club in Mexicali. What did you do that night that was something you always remember? That night.
I just remember hitting the club. I was with a couple homies right there just kicking it. And we were just getting faded, like, sin pararle, güey. Like, it was from an early thing. I even remember getting at some Jaina, güey. And some fool pulled some shit on me que me sacó de onda, güey.
Like what?
Like, hitting on a Jaina, boom, pegué, güey. Comes back and fucking homeboy steps in and says, ese güey vale verga.
He told the girl that about you?
Huh?
He told the girl that about you?
Yeah, he told the girl that about me. I was like, what the fuck?
So he was hating?
I don't know, pero...
So he went and told...
crazy shit.
So you talking to the girl... And
no, she came up. She came up with her friends. Entonces, I was like, damn, I kept looking at a la más buena, güey, you know? Like, I'm getting at that for sure. Because ya a esa hora, güey, my head was just, fuck it, I'm just trying to get at somebody, you know what I mean? And just give me one for the night.
Yeah.
Y nomás, no sé, güey, mira esta gente que viene. And I was like, okay, for sure. Y voy y I hit her up. Y Kyle, pum, le agarro la mano y se viene. And I'm just chilling, cotorreando. Y se va, dice, ahorita vengo, voy a agarrar mi bolsa. And I'm going to try to bring some more friends pa' que, you know, pa' cotorrear. I'm like, all right, for sure. Aquí espérame, no te preocupes. But her mesa was right there because I seen her, you know?
Yeah.
And en ese ratito nomás, no duró ni 5 minutos, güey. De volada vino con una pinche bola acá de que it looked like a fucking, I don't know,
mob.
You know?
An angry mob.
I guess, pero yeah, they just pulled up, se sube la jaina, I try to stretch my hand out, homeboy comes right in front of me, dice, ¿qué onda? Ese güey vale verga, dice.
What?
I was like, what the fuck? Pues yo me quedé como que, ni pedo, ¿sabes cómo? They come and go, dog. Fuck it.
So you weren't able to take her home?
I wasn't able to take her home.
Because of the guy?
I guess, I mean... La neta no me agüité, güey. It was what it was, you know? So I was like, la verga. Pero esa noche sí fui al Momo. Y pues me levanté algo ahí.
Yeah, because you had to pay $25.
I had to pay $25 for it. Fuck it. I wasn't just going to leave.
How much was it in
Calexico with no, you know?
How much was it in your time era? Because you're 18 years old and my 18 years old were way different timelines. So back in my day, I know the price.
Yeah.
What was the price for you back in your day in Mexicali?
I could say somewhere around $70 to $80.
Damn. My timeline was better.
See?
$25.
$25?
That's my timeline. Not to say that I grabbed anything because I didn't, but just by window shopping. You know, just window shopping.
¿Cuánto? Sí,
So, okay, so 18 years old. Did you have a plan what you want to do with your life?
La neta, no, güey. I was just still thugging, bro.
So no plan?
No plan, nada.
So what did you start doing? When you were 18 already, you're an adult, you're a man. Now you got to take care of things, make money. What did you do with your life?
At 18, estaba pegándole al fil, güey. But it wasn't more of a plan thing. I was just, I'm going to get some feria so I could go out this weekend and get fucked up and, you know, that type of vibe, like that. Eso es lo que tenía yo de plan, de cada semana, every time I would
So it was just working to have fun.
Just to have fun, yeah.
Now, right there in Mexicali, Calexico, you got the border, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of illegal activity, like illegals jumping the fence.
Yeah.
You got a lot of drug stuff going on, people throwing money, drugs. Did that ever cross your mind?
It did, yeah.
At 18?
Yeah.
What? Talk to me. What crossed your mind? What did you think about? Or how?
No sé, nomás me pegó esa de que quería hacer más feria, güey. De lo que hacía, you know?
Because there's a lot of polleros right there.
Yeah.
A lot of the gangs that are in that area are polleros.
Yeah.
Because they live there, it's very easy. Did you see that? A lot of that growing up there?
Most of it I did, yeah. I did see some activity going on with that, and, you know.
Or were you far away from the fence? Because when you're far away from the border, you don't see it every day. But when you're like on the border, you see it every day.
Yo me la pasaba en la línea. I was there all the time, so I would actually see shit like that going on, you know? So it was easy for me to just to be like, damn, this fool caía y, oh no, man, motherfucker's gonna make that day, a la verga. So eso nomás me daba mental de, I was like, fuck, should I or not? Me la viento? Fuck it, ¿sabes cómo? But not right now, hold on, I'm chilling. I'd rather give it time for that. Y pues, pero sí lo tenía en mente eso de que sí quería hacer eso, you know?
That's easy money.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
You never thought about like finding somebody that could plug you in?
No, not really. Actually, it was later. Later is when I started to think that, to, you know, getting to know somebody that was involved with that and just...
A little louder, you're too low.
It was later for me to do that. Not right there. Pero sí lo quería hacer. I just didn't want to get into it right away, you know, because I didn't really know it that much like that.
Were you scared of that?
No,
because that's different. That's not like okay. So when you cross illegal aliens, now it's federal.
Yeah.
Now you got FBI on you.
Sí.
It's not just the police from the city. It's not Calexico Police Department now. Now it's the federal, the ICE, the DHS, the
HSI and all that shit.
The what?
HSI?
HSI, Homeland Security.
Homeland Security.
Now you have all these people that if you're doing big things, they'll come look for you.
Yeah, for sure.
If they catch you with an illegal alien, you're getting an FBI number, and now you're going to federal prison. If they want to take you that far, that didn't scare you?
No, pa nada. En el momento, like, it didn't scare me at all, but in that moment when you have motherfuckers chasing you in una pinche camioneta con 10 güeyes a la verga, that's when you're feeling it right there, you know?
You did that?
Yeah, I did that shit.
So you ended up getting into the pollero business?
Into all that shit like that, yeah.
Talk to me how, when, where?
I was probably like 20 at the time. I started met a homie that was, you know.
Started doing what?
I met somebody that was doing that, you know?
Okay.
And I don't know, I was like, fuck it, me voy a aventar, ¿sabes cómo? It's gonna be easy money for me. Y quiero hacer feria, güey, like, working in el field, güey, no me va a hacer nada, la verga, just enough for me to fucking spend for the weekend, and that's it, because I'm the type of fool que agarro feria y en pinche salida me chingo todo, güey, me vale verga. I'll fuck it all up.
All of it?
All of it, dog.
So what was the mission when the first time you did something to do with the polleros?
Levantar.
What was the mission? ¿Quién te contrató, güey? ¿Cómo le hicieron? What was the plan?
Well, I met somebody where I was working at. He told me about it. I thought about it. And then I was like, second thinking about, like, you know, like, shit, you know, just guessing it of doing it or not. Pero, no sé, de repente sí dije, fucking fierro, Simón. Y, yeah, I ended up going back when I finished the job. Boom, went in straight into that. To doing that, y ahí andaba, güey.
Yeah, but what was the mission? The guy has to tell you, like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna go here. We're gonna pick this up, and then we're gonna go there. What was the game plan?
The whole game plan was that I was gonna get in, go, and I was gonna be on call to pick up. And as soon as I pick up, I had to go and drop. Okay. As soon as I was gonna get the drop off, then I had something coming from there.
Okay. So
you know, so
basic.
Just basic things.
They're gonna call you and say, "Hey, go to this address and pick this up."
Pick this up, yeah.
And take it here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Point A to point B.
Basic.
Sí.
And then when you drop off, they pay you.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened?
Well, I did that for a couple of months, bro.
No, the first one.
The first one?
They called you?
Oh, the first one, yeah. The first one, they called me. I was fucking chilling right there in the mall, in the parking lot.
El Centro.
Yeah, in el centro. I was just chilling, you know. The homie hit me up. He's like, hey, just be ready. They're going to call you, like, at this time. Just be close so that way you don't have to be far from where you're going to drive because it might be a mission, you know. You won't know where they're at. And just make sure you have that shit with the full tank and just be on call, bro, and answer the phone, por favor. And I'm like, all right, for sure, yeah.
Let me stop you right there. You know I'm a professional in this field.
Yeah.
Like, I'm an expert, so I'll know if you're lying.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, continue.
So I'm there. I'm just chilling. Fucking, I stopped at the store to go get me some fucking una sodita, some chips, just to munch out and just kick it, you know, put on the music, and I was blasting on my phone and whatever, and pues de repente me hablaron, güey. But I stood there for like at least an hour and a half, bro. Y era de noche, güey, you know? El jale era de noche. So then I was like, fuck it, you know? Started to munch out, just kick it there. I was there for a whole hour and a half, y de repente me hablan, me dijeron, hey, sobres, boom, lánzate. As soon as I, vete por aquí y te vamos a decir cuando pares, you know?
Y se van a subir todos.
Sí, se van a subir todos. Dije yo, all right, for sure. Me dice, ¿por dónde vienes? No, que vengo por aquí. Estás un poco retirado, ¿ah? Yo le dije, la neta sí, pero ahorita te caigo en caliente, you know? It's not 5 minutes. Just don't speed because you got a lot of fucking, ¿cómo se dice when they're están dando vueltas?
Highway patrols?
I guess. No, not highway patrols, pero como que hay mucho, they're rotating a lot.
Who, the migras?
Las migras, Simón. So, I kept it cool, just drove normal and shit like that. Y no sé, de repente nomás llego y me dijeron, ya estuvo, písale la breca. Boom, I hit that shit on the brake and I get to the side. And I'm just like this, open the doors, and I unlocked everything, right? Y no sé, güey, de repente miran, güey, y me dicen, ahí vienen atrás de ti, nomás ten las puertas abiertas, ya te miraron. Dije, all right, ¿cómo sabes que soy yo? No, dice, yo sé, ¿traes manejando esto? Le dije, sí, okay, nomás deja las puertas abiertas. And I was like, all right. So I kept it cool, boom, blocked everything out of it. ¿Sabes cómo? Para que no hubiera tanto desmadre. Y pues yo no sabía que iban a hacer un chingo, güey, se subieron como 12 a la verga. I was like, fuck. Y se subieron, güey, así, güey, como pinche cucarachas cuando te amontonan, güey, un chingazo, like, de atrás.
Yeah.
And I'm right there, y todos se quedan como que, hey, ¿qué hago, compa? Usted tiras el piso a la verga, dice, y no diga nada, no se levante, y si le digo que se levante, usted nomás se levanta. Pero ¿quién va a manejar enfrente? Usted no sé, ahí quédese, compa, todo bien, dice, nomás relajados, ahorita vamos a llegar allá. Todo bien, con calma. ¿Quieres un cigarro? Pégale. Aquí traigo soda. ¿Quieres papitas, Simón?
Oh, okay, that while you're picking up?
Yeah, like, just like that. So I drove off, fucking, quemé llanta, güey. Boom. Me subo al puente y me regreso, güey. En lo que, güey, está dando la vuelta, güey, me pasan dos.
Dos migras.
Yeah. Y nomás estoy bajando, güey. And they call me and they're like, hey, te pasaron dos aguacates ahí por un lado de ti, güey. Dice, nomás ponte vergas. If shit happens, then you know what to do. Le dije, pues fuck it, me voy a tener que tirar estos güeyes y voy a ir a chocar el carro en el cerco. I'm gonna have to bounce, you know. Y no, y sí, de hecho, I drove off, I was right there. And I seen some smoke de atrás because I'm looking at the side mirror from de frente, güey, like this. And you know, with all those fucking lights, you can see all kinds of shit, you know what I mean? And I see the fucking tierra levantándose, dije yo, y ahí vienen a la verga,
yeah, that's how you know
wey.
somebody's coming behind you.
Ahí vienen a la verga, güey. So I went a little harder on the pedal, fool, just, boom, le subí como a 90, güey, pero calmado, you know? Y no, y sí, güey, I was on the fucking road for like 20 minutes, fool. Y se me pegan, güey, se me pega el Ranger, se me pega el Migra, güey, y se me pega un... no sé, güey. Sí,
pues
un Ranger.
¿Por dónde levantaste?
Ahí por la 8, güey.
¿Por la 8?
Sí, güey.
¿Para San Diego o para Yuma?
Para Yuma.
Oh, sí, cierto. Está cabrón allá,
ahí está
wey.
Caliente. Sí, venía 2 puentes antes de subir para Hopeville.
Oh.
Like, I was in the... Right there. Ahí donde está todo
No,
el
I know where that's at.
Y se me pegan, güey, pero they never turn the lights on, bro. They let me fucking just go, you know?
Yeah.
Y llegué hasta allá, güey, and fucking just dropped everybody off. Y
So
llegó
you were
yeah,
good?
I made it clean. Pero antes de llegar ahí, güey, like, I had to go through streets ahí en el centro because I know El Centro, like, fucking la palma de mi mano, güey, ¿sabes
Yeah.
cómo? Y así, me dice, hey, why are you taking forever? I'm like, nah, fool, it's because I have these motherfuckers on my back. So
That's
I'm
a
just trying
dangerous mission because
is.
you picked up right on the side of the A freeway.
Yeah.
That's why. That's man. Yeah, you were a guinea pig that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
¿Cómo se dice en español? Eres ¿cómo se llama el que mandan al matadero?
¿El matadero?
No, el que mandan al matadero, güey. Te mandaron a ti al matadero, güey.
Oh, como...
You were el que quieren que truene, güey.
El mula.
You were the mule.
The mule, yeah.
The mule, güey. Yeah,
The
fool.
mula, yeah.
That's a dangerous mission, but I knew a lot of people that would pick up like that. They would pick up right on the A freeway. You stop, they all load, and you keep driving.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. So then, was that a nice big fat paycheck for you?
Hell yeah, fool.
How much, roughly?
I got paid, dog. Over 5.
100?
No.
1,000?
See, wait. That was my first one.
No.
That was my first one, yep.
No, you're lying
But
to me.
they paid me that because I had so many heads. Entonces el carro que yo tenía era de mi compa, and he let me use it.
I'm gonna let you tell your story. I'm not even gonna second guess you. But all right, they paid you 5,000. What you do with the money?
I fucking wasted it todo en Mexicali.
Doing what?
Stupid shit. I got faded. Fui a culiar con unas jainas. ¿Qué más hice? Me la gasté en drogas. ¿Qué más, güey?
But you know what? I believe so you said you spent the money on drugs and girls?
Sí.
And drugs and
Sí,
girls. Okay, I
drugs.
believe you because when I got my first check, I did the same thing. When I got my first check, I spent it on drugs and women.
Yeah.
But then after that, it was all business. It was like the first check you get, you're like,
Hell yeah.
you know,
I made it.
I got it.
Yeah.
So did that turn you on to do it again?
I did it. Yeah, I actually did it a couple more times.
Because there's a lot of people that do it the first time, and then they're like, I can't do it no more because I got away, so I'm good.
I got lucky, huh? Yeah.
So you continue to do
I
it?
continue to do it.
For how long?
For a couple of months.
What made you stop?
No sé, güey. Es because the reason it made me stop, porque ya me traían, güey.
How?
Well, they fucking already had pulled me over. They ran my fucking name con ellos, face, image, todo el pedo, güey. And cuando les estaba dando, güey, cada vez que hacía, like, dando vueltas to check to see what's up, dónde andaban y todo ese pedo, güey, I don't know, they would just literally just pull me over, bro. And then from there, it was just a heat. Me seguía, no sé, güey, sentía que me seguían, güey, and I just had that feeling, y dije, no, ¿sabes qué? That's it, I gotta relax, you know?
It wasn't you being paranoid?
No, not really. Not really. I felt it. I felt it that they were gonna pop me someday like that.
So you only did it for a few months?
Yeah, I did it for a few months.
Okay. So then, what happens after that? What do? You go back to work?
Me calmé un rato, sí, güey. I kind of did go to work for a little bit, and así nomás me la llevé, güey, hasta que tenía que 21 or 22. Pero todavía andaba con la misma bola, ¿sabes? Como, like, con la misma gente, here and there, but I was just chilling there, you know? I wasn't doing all this that I was doing when I was doing that shit. Entonces, no sé, güey, de repente ya cambió de una cosa a la otra.
So you were done with it?
Yeah, I was done with it.
And then, so, when did you come down here? Because I know I met you like 2016.
When did I come here?
Yeah.
I think so, somewhere around.
No, that's
2017, I think.
yes, 2016, 2017. That's when I met you because
Yeah.
my brother brought you, and that's when I met you. But were you already stopped doing that stuff?
Yeah, I already stopped out doing that.
You were not breaking the law no more.
Nada. I was just trying to come over here and just get a job and just chill.
Is that what you came for?
Yeah, just to get myself straight a little bit.
To do things right?
Yeah, to do things right, because I was just, allá era, I don't know, it was out of control for me.
Okay, so then I remember you were here for a little while. You were working at one of my places, remember?
Yeah.
And then you went back to Calexico.
Sí.
And then my brother ends up telling me you go to prison.
Yeah, I did go to prison.
Why? What happened?
I went back with the same people that I used to kick it with. Entonces, de ahí, no sé, nomás thought it was going to be an easy thing to do besides the other jale. And I don't know, I thought I was going to make it like that.
What did you do? What do you mean? So you left here because right here you had a job, you were doing good, and then you went back to Calexico, and you kicked it with the same people?
I kicked it with the same people.
And what happened? They told you do this, do that. How did you land in jail?
Well, the same dude that I knew cuando andaba levantando gente, he started telling me about, like, hey, ¿qué onda? Like, ¿no te animarías pa meter jale pa allá adentro? Like, you know? I was like, I don't know, bro, because that shit está muy caliente, güey, para aventarlo así. Te la paso de que la aventaras por arriba, ¿sabes cómo? Pero para cruzarla es un pedote, you know?
So what did he want? In the car?
Dije, fuck it, en el carro, pero...
No. I'm asking you.
He wanted in the car.
He wanted in the car?
In the car, yeah. I thought it was going to be more easier, pero... No sé, yo la pensé y yo sabía que no... Yo tenía pensado de que no iba a salir bien, you know? Porque está cabrón, güey. Está cabrón para aventártelo así, güey, en un pinche fletazo en el carro, güey, y de que pase, güey. Y luego aparte, güey, estaba bien morro yo también, you know?
Yeah.
So that was like, no.
What was his sales pitch to you?
What do you mean?
Yeah, how did he sell it to you? ¿Cómo te lo vendió, güey? ¿Qué fue lo que te dijo? ¿Cómo te vendió el carro? ¿Cómo te vendió la idea? ¿Cómo te vendió el plan?
Pues nomás me comentó de esas cosas de que me decía de que, hey, si cruzas jale con el carro, güey, y pegas, es más feria de lo que vas a sacar a lo que estabas levantando. You know, I even set you up with somebody that's good, that's going to help you set a good, un clavo bueno, para que entres hasta adentro, y así llegas hasta donde vengas y pegas. And anything that you need, then, you know, there's nothing to worry about. If you need somewhere to stay, we can provide that shit for you. You need some money, we can provide that shit for you. You got a car, I can support you with that shit también, te lo podemos dar, you know. Pero el punto es de que para cruzar, güey, ¿sabes cómo? And you're meeting some good people that are actually gonna... Pero yo en mi mente, yo no sabía cómo estaba corriendo con ese pedo, because yo la neta era like, I don't know who the fuck these dudes were, you know?
Except for the guy you knew.
Except for the guy I knew. So he's the only person I trusted in that moment. Like, fuck, like, is this fool being like for reals, or I don't know, like, this might be a trick. That's what I was thinking, you know?
Yeah.
But still, I was there trying to do it. Like, fuck it. Y hasta también mucha gente que me rechazaba because of my age, bro. I was young, me miraba bien morrido, güey, at that time, bro. Y me decía, no, güey, this kid looks too young. Te la paso de que se la aventaran tapado, güey, pero así en carro, güey, no, güey, me dijeron. I was like, fuck. And it was a bunch of people because allá, güey, antes de que, you know, la gente que entrara ahora, güey, well, it was open, you know. Everybody was doing business out there like that. So you could just literally go to anybody. But... like I said, bro, it was like my age is what literally like fucked it up.
So how did you go to jail?
Well,
so you did the job? You took the job?
I took the job, yeah. I took the job. I was, ¿cómo te puedo decir? So cruzando, haciéndola como que voy a ir al jale. ¿Sabes cómo? Pero en la madrugada, güey.
Okay, so the homie gave you the game plan and you accepted it.
Yeah, he gave me the game plan, I accepted it, I went for it.
And what was it? ¿Vas a cruzar en la madrugada like you're going to work?
You're going to cross the car like if you're going to work, así. You're going to be doing this for at least, I don't know, a couple weeks. Y ya cuando ya reconozcas que estás bien y no estás pasando por secondary, because at that time you no pasaba por secondary, ¿sabes cómo? Like...
Oh, so the plan was they gave you the car, All right, tell me if I'm wrong. They gave you the car and they said every day en la madrugada or a certain time, pasas por la línea, so that way they can document you that you go by every day at this time.
Yeah.
So that way they don't think it's just random.
It's random, yeah.
Because for the people that don't know, for the people that are watching, when you cross through Mexico in the car, they write down everything. Like they know how many times you go through there.
Yeah, that shit comes out right there.
The tags, they got a scanner on top that shows your car tag. And then so when you get up to the little box, the migra already has your tag pulled up. And he knows every time that car crossed the border. So by you going every day at a certain time, they look at your tag and like, oh, this guy comes every day at 3 o'clock or at 4 o'clock. He's just going to work. Sí. Pásale. So that was what you were doing?
That's what I was doing.
So the plan was after what? After 2 weeks to...
After 2 weeks, ya como dijiste, de que everything was good, entonces... Dale, güey, para que así ahora no haya pedos, o de que te vayan a mandar de secondary o una mamada, ¿sabes cómo?
What did the car have?
Hielo.
Meth?
Sí.
Why? Fool, meth is free.
I know, pero... Fuck, it's like how I told him. I was like, why not fucking coke? ¿Sabes cómo? Es más feria, güey.
Meth is free.
Yeah.
Go anywhere right now to any drug dealer out here, they'll give it to you for free.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was filled with meth. Did you see the product before they put it in the car?
No.
So you didn't know where it was at?
I didn't know where it was at.
So talk to me about how you felt going through the border, standing in line to go next.
Like
how did
just
you feel?
Normal, nada, estaba calmado, me fumé mi cigarro, was just right there chilling. I had my girl with me. I was going out with this
girl?
Jaina. Yeah, I had a Jaina back then. That was from Calexico. So I would just hit her up and tell her what's up, you know what I mean? Everything normal, como si nada. Y pues ya nomás esperar hasta que me hablaran para subir ahí arriba, güey.
So you went like this, they went like this, and you got to the little box.
Yeah.
What happened?
Nada, nomás me dijeron, saqué tenía mi Ready Link card, se lo di, pum, y ya que aseguré mi name, todo el pedo, me volteé a ver la Jaina y tras a la verga, me cae el K9 y como 7, 8 más los agents que andan ahí, güey.
Los que andan ahí nomás caminando.
Andan ahí caminando. Me cayeron, güey, con las pistolas en el aire, güey, así, güey. Get the fuck out the car.
Before the dog searched, they came with guns?
When the dog came. Llegó el perro andaba allí, güey, yo lo miré, güey. ¿Sabes cómo?
Sí, ahí anda entre los carros.
Cuando yo subí, llegué ahí, le di esa madre, la Jaina me miró y en eso, pum, pasa el perro así de frente y le dan la vuelta acá alrededor y no sé, de repente nomás, tras, me caen, güey. I was like, what the fuck?
Sounds like somebody ratted on you.
And I went straight in after that. They didn't give me no choice, bro. I went in there handcuffed, caminando, metieron el carro por el pinche...
X-ray.
Sí, güey, no lo pasaron por el X-ray. Le dieron la vuelta, se metieron para adentro, donde está para desarmarlo. And I went straight into la oficina donde están ahí, güey, you know? And I stood there for a while, bro. I got there like at fucking 1 or 2 in the morning. And I didn't leave there till like 7 in the morning, bro.
Wow.
I was there, they came back and they took a picture and they're like, oh, Mr. Boom, 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 you're under arrested for importation of methamphetamine, la verga. Dije yo, damn. Fuck it, I smiled, I did the Pablo Escobar smile, sí, güey. Yeah, but what's crazy though is that right after that, me cayeron 2 HSI agents. And they say, we're going to go to the hospital. Dije yo, what the fuck? We're going to do an X-ray on you. Yo me quedé como que, okay. Pero estos putos me querían revisar a ver si no tenía nada en el cuerpo. Es lo que no me di cuenta hasta que llegué al county, güey. ¿Sabes cómo?
Yeah.
So I went there. And I stood there también, güey, for a little bit. En lo que me hicieron el X-ray. Ahí tenía esa madre, me tenían esposado. When I was in the car. When I got out of the car. Entonces, me soltaron las esposas, güey. And I even had the chance, bro, to if I wanted to leave, I would have left, bro.
¿Serio?
Yeah, because I went and I was like, hey, I need to go to the restroom.
En el centro.
Me dejaron solo, sí,
En el centro. Yeah, the central jail, they're very sloppy on the way they do things. They're very sloppy, bro. Like, they don't, like, it seems like they don't take it serious. It's weird the way that jail is compared to, like, LA County or, like, West Valley in Ontario.
Fucking
Yes.
pinche gordo, gabacho, y el otro
Yeah,
era
the
un
white,
güey,
fat
un
white cop.
mexicano, algo así, no sé, eran los dos, but I recognize them by their faces, you know, like I still know what they look like.
I'm still stuck on when you were at the crossing the border, how they automatically rushed you like that. The dog, I know the dog goes around the cars. The previous times the dog was ever out
No,
there?
never.
Just
The
that
dog
night?
was never, no, ya, cuando yo llegué ese día, güey, es cuando sí, cayó el perro, dio la vuelta, tras, me caen, güey. And I went straight in there. Me sacaron del carro, they fucking put on the handcuffs, and I went in. We're gonna check your car, y la verga, no sé qué, bla, bla, bla. Okay,
You do know-
got nothing to declare? No. Y así me fui.
You do know that sometimes drug dealers, they'll send like a car to get caught, so that way another car with 10 times the material gets through.
Yo no sabía esa madre, güey, hasta cuando yo ya caía dentro de la pinta.
You know why I think you were the fall guy? Because you have meth. Meth is free,
Yeah.
like almost free, right? It's cheap, so cheap. So they don't care about losing the meth. I think that if you would have had heroin or something else, it would have been different.
Yeah.
You would have been able to maybe you had a chance. But I think they gave you the meth. They made the call and said, "Hey, this car is gonna have meth." So that way, right when you got there, the cop lady knew you had it. They attacked you,
Trácate.
and the other car got through. You don't think so? You didn't think of this like
No, es
after
que-
when you got caught?
It's because I didn't really know the game of that shit like that, bro. I was still fucking... Estaba verde yo pa toda esta madre, güey. My first times doing that shit, I didn't know what was going on. I just know I'm gonna cross the fucking car,
Get money.
get money, come back, fucking me voy recio.
So how about the girl you were with? She went to jail too?
No,
Why?
because she was in Calexico. I'm telling you that I was on the phone with her.
Oh, I
calling
thought
her.
she was with you in the car.
No, she was not with me. I was by myself at that time.
So
All I
then,
had was my phone. Tenía un pinche Galaxy, no me acuerdo, el 5.
yeah, this had to be
6.
like, what was this? Because I know you, after you left where I was at, that's when you went to jail. So it had to be like 2018, 19?
Something like that, yeah. Tenía un telefoncito, güey, chiquito. I had a pack of Marlboro 100, un lighter, y mi charger. That's it.
That's
and my
it.
ID, yeah. That's all I had on me, bro.
So
and I
then-
was in a tank top with shorts and a fucking chanclas, güey.
That's it.
And it was cold, dog. It was cold.
4 in the morning? 3 in the morning?
Yeah, no, 2:30, I think. 2:30 in the morning. Imagínate en el pinche freezer, güey, así en el holding con el friazo a la verga, yo cubriéndome
wanna
las
even
manos,
think-
and I'm like this, dog.
I don't
like,
even want to think about jail, bro. I hate to think about county jail. Okay, then, so you're in El Centro, you fight your case. Do you get picked up by feds, or how does it work?
Yeah, I went to the first, when I got into the county, they sent me into the to the tank antes de que te procesen, güey.
Okay.
You know?
The holding tank.
Yeah, the holding tank. Estaba ahí. I stood there for like 3 or 4 days, and then the feds picked me up. They transferred me from there to the camp where están todos los del federal, güey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was there for like 3 or 4 more months.
3 or 4 more months?
Yeah, somewhere around there. No me acuerdo, pero sé que sí estaba ahí for a good minute.
So you fought your case with a lawyer or a public
Public
defender?
defender.
You had no money?
Nada.
Your mom wasn't helping you?
Well, when I was in jail, she was sending me money every
But what
month.
she said when you got caught?
Se agüitó, güey.
How about your dad? No.
My dad wasn't there.
Okay, so then you fought your case, and tell me about the case. What happened? You fought it, and they offered you a deal. They didn't give you a deal.
Well, I mean, yeah, they were trying to scare me at first, bro. Trying to say, no, motherfucker, you're gonna get 10 years, y que no sé qué, y la verga, but we can help you out, you know, and, pues I didn't go with that shit because a lot of people were telling me how that shit runs, you know, like, no, that don't do this because, you know, it's gonna look bad for you when you go in there, and that's something that you don't want, you know. It's like, pay attention to the people that have been here already doing this for a while, that actually have the career for that. Like, si alguien te dice algo bueno de que hey, no hagas esto y esto así, es porque te está ayudando para que te ayude cuando estés adentro, para cuando si llega, güey, no te vean mal, güey.
So they offered you 10 years,
They offered me 10 years at first, bro.
and then later they lowered it.
They kept on lowering it and shit like that porque al último, güey, mi case no era mucho desmadre, güey. Yo nomás era I was a pop, fool, you know? Yo nomás era la mula, güey.
Yeah, facts.
Me agarraron, al último me hicieron charge como aburrero, güey.
Yeah.
¿Sabes cómo?
Yeah, como el
So
pendejo.
there was no reason for me to fucking do fucking 10 years for some small shit like that. Like,
Yeah.
there was no point of it. Entonces, it would have been different si llegara aquí adentro y aquí me tronaran.
Simón.
Entonces, they would charge me with the conspiracy chase, you know?
Yeah.
So that's for sure. It's under the 10-year minimum, bro. I'm not going to do no less than 10 years for sure, you know?
Yeah.
So, no me dieron mucho después de eso. I kept lowering it down y a la verga, 6.5, and I did 4, dog.
6.5. But they
Yeah.
wanted you to sign a proffer, or they wanted you to sign something. I heard they would have give you less time if you would have signed it. What was that thing called?
It was fucking, ¿cómo se llamaba? Safety valve or something like that.
Safety valve.
Sí, güey. Pero mucha gente dice que esa madre es for like a point deduction or whatever. Y otros dicen que esa madre es para hablar con la gente, like con ellos, güey. You know, like to cooperate and shit like that. But I didn't fall for that shit. I was like, nah.
So a safety valve, from what I know, is a paper you sign, and it gives them authority to come and talk to you at any given time, and you have to give them info.
About what's
going on. So if they come to the jail and they pull you out and they ask you, hey, who has the dope in there? I know you know. And you don't tell them, they can max you out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you signed it or not?
No, I didn't sign that.
And so you took the 6.5?
I took the 6.5 and they gave me 4.
And you did 4 total?
Yeah, I did 4 total because cuando estaba adentro, I did programs. ¿Qué más? Me metí al drug program. Yeah, like just little classes here and there para que me quitaran el tiempo, güey. But since like half my time when I was in there, I was doing good, you know?
Yeah.
Stayed out of the bullshit here and there and me ayudó, güey. So, lo que pasó es de que entraron, you know, a lot of laws change while you're in there and they help you leave earlier, güey. So, cuando yo me salí, yo tenía un, ¿cómo se le llama esa madre, güey? Fucking, it's like an early release thing.
Yeah.
You know, hasta a la gente que está ahí, que llevan un rato, güey, like, lo sueltan, güey, no sé por qué, güey, you know?
They just release them?
They just release
them. Because the laws
bro.
change.
Yeah. So that's what they fucking did to me since I was programming, you know, and I wasn't really with that shit allá adentro, güey. A la verga. But before that, I was supposed to go to a different institution, you know?
That's what I wanted to talk about. So what jails did you go to? What federal prisons did you go to?
Well, I went to Victorville. I was there for like 6 months.
Okay.
Pero estaba en el holding. That was a holding. That yard is mostly like the holding. They separated from the holding and they got general people.
So from El Centro, you went to Victorville?
No.
Talk to me. Give me the process.
Okay, so cuando yo estaba aquí en la county, me levantaron los del Geo. Okay, that's like a little private jail stream that they have, ¿sabes cómo?
Yeah.
Entonces llegué ahí y ahí duré 2 meses.
¿Dónde? What city? What state?
In San Diego. I was in San Diego. They've transferred me from the county
El
in El Centro. I went to San Diego.
Okay.
Right? Then I was still going through my thing right there in the courts. And then from there, I got transferred from Geo to Victorville.
Okay.
Y estaba en la holdover. Ahí sí duré 6 meses. Entonces cuando yo caí a Victorville, cuando yo me fui de Victorville, llegué a Lompoc y ahí me aventé 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Entonces de 2 years, cuando estaba allí, they offered me the drug program. And I took it. I was like, fuck it, you know? Because it was a year off of your sentence. Plus they gave you halfway house while you finished the program and shit like that. Dije, no, pues a la verga, me quiero ir a mi casa porque ya está enfadado, güey, ¿sabes cómo? Like,
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Being in there, like, it's cool for the first minute. You go there, you start, you know, doing your shit, fucking hustling to make some money to feed yourself and still, like, eso yo lo aprendí cuando yo estaba adentro y la neta sí me ayudó, you know? I wasn't really, like, depending on my mom that much. So I would call her and tell her, no, I don't need money this month.
So what did you run in jail? Did
Paisa.
you run Southside, Paisa, Black?
No.
White?
No.
Nazi? So what did you run?
I ran with the Paisas, way.
You had a choice to run Southside and Paisa. Why'd you pick Paisa?
I don't know. I mean, it's just, the way I see this is something that I got told from people that when that shit goes and they tell you, like how you're telling me, like, I just go from what my heart, how I feel about things. You know what I mean? So like, if I want to rent paisas because of me, you know, I could have rent homie if I wanted to, right? Which is the options there. Pero no sé, way. Like I just felt like I had in my heart that okay, you know, si soy mexicano, way, I'm gonna run with my Mexicans because that's my people. You know what I mean? So I gotta keep it there. ¿Sabes cómo? Entonces si fuera solo, pues fuck que me la avientaron con los homies, way.
Yeah.
So, but I still respect that, bro. I respect all that. You know, even if I'm here. You know, like, aquí, güey, es...
Puro Southside right here, homeboy.
Sí, no, pues yo sé, like,
aquí I respect
right I respect it because in their way, like, we all run together, ¿sabes cómo? Porque somos raza, güey, sí, güey, todos somos raza, güey, and shit pops up, boom, we all stay together, and we gotta go together.
Now, I have a question. Did you earn your P?
Yeah, I did.
You have it on you?
Yeah, I got it on me.
Many times or just once?
No, just once.
Let me see.
Twice, actually.
Where is it?
I got it right here in esta madre.
You have to earn it?
Yeah, I gotta earn that shit.
Is it true they say paisa power, or that's just shit you see on the movies?
No, pues mucha de la gente sí, like, it's paisa power. That's how I see it, as paisa power.
Yeah?
¿Sabes cómo?
Okay.
Sí, pero
I heard it, but I don't
paisa,
know.
güey. ¿Sabes cómo? It's just different. ¿Cómo se dice? Se diferencia mucho a lo que significa, güey.
So my tío Ángel, he's a border brother. So border brother is like the gang, and paisas are like the residents.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I just
you know more than me because I'm not a paisa. You know, so I mean, people say I don't think I am.
At the end of the day, every car is a gang, bro.
Oh, in jail.
In jail.
Yeah, facts.
Every car is a gang.
But okay, I get it.
¿Sabes cómo?
Simón.
So if I'm a paisa, then we're a gang. We gotta keep their shit, and we're paisas. ¿Sabes cómo?
Yeah.
If you're a border brother, then you're a border brother.
Yeah.
But it's just different to when you go in there and con quién vas, güey. ¿Sabes cómo? Who are you rolling with?
Yeah.
Like, La Federal, güey, is paisas and homies to the max. Esa madre está repleta, güey. Like, you know?
Yeah.
So it's cool because everything's together. Pero me ha tocado, güey, de que llego y son un chingo de paisas, güey. Son un chingo de Southsiders, güey. But there's real less from other cars. Like in Texas, allá en Texas, güey, están los tejanos, están los borrachos, están los pinches.
Borrachos? What is
sí,
that?
that's like another gang that they have over there.
What are they, Mexican?
También, güey, sí.
Oh, shit.
Mexicanos, güey. I mean, it's different in different states. Every state is different, pero like when it comes down to...
Imagine being from los borrachos, güey.
But el pedo es de que eso, like, pistoleros también, like,
Ay,
all that shit, they all run under our car también, güey. Because most of them run with us, you know?
The paisa car.
Yeah, most of them run with us.
Pero se separan en fracciones.
Sí, se hacen en fracciones y hacen lo suyo también en diferentes pintas. Depende de cuántos son y qué
How big it is.
Yeah. So if they're deep over there, then that's for sure. They got their shit. They got their own table. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
Damn,
yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah.
I never knew that. So you went to Texas too?
No, I never went to Texas. I stayed in Cali my whole time. Pero ya antes de que yo saliera, I went to Colorado to finish my time.
That's where you finished in Colorado?
Yeah, that's where I finished my time.
So I heard you were locked up with a gravedigger.
Yeah, that's the homie, bro.
I heard because one day my brother goes, "Hey, fool, Trap Boy saying that he knows one of the artists you had up there." I'm like, that fool don't know none of the artists, and that fool goes, "Yeah, fool, he knows Gravedigger." And I got on the phone with Digger. I got on the phone with you, and yeah, he knew who you were. So how did that happen? Talk to me.
I met that fool in the shoe, bro.
Yeah.
Venía de transfer de Lompoc a Victorville. En ese tiempo estaba el pinche COVID a todo lo que da.
2020.
Sí. Y me había metido en un pedo allá, güey. Y me hicieron transfer de ahí, güey, pero cuando yo estaba ahí, like, ya iba a salir, I was gonna go back to the yard otra vez con la gente, you know, and just chill, pero como me ofrecieron el drug program, pues me metieron al quarantine y me vine para Victorville, and I was already getting transferred from out of there, you know. So when I landed in the shoe, I was still there, but I was waiting for quarantine because they had me there because of that bullshit over there, you know. And that's where I met him. But I met him by some other dude that I know that was from Mexicali también, güey.
Simón.
So he was my neighbor.
Yeah.
And from there we clicked up, bro, and it was cool. It was fun as hell.
Gravedigger's not a paisa, he's a sureño.
No, he's a Southsider, yeah.
Yeah. So how was that? How was it meeting him? Did you know he was a rapper? Or?
No, he actually, when I was there, bro, he told me, like, hey, I'm going to be a rapper when I get out. ¿Sabes cómo?
Yeah.
But he would freestyle cuando ya estaba dentro y ya está, no, ¿cómo se dice? Like when he would rap, he's like, oh, I got some shit written up right here that I want to do when I get out and shit like that. Y no, y sí, lo ponía y se ponía a rapear, güey. And I would hear him too también because cuando yo estaba en el shoe, antes de que fuera mi neighbor, I was locked up with some fool from Florence.
Yeah.
Ahí estaba en el mismo cell con él, pero él también iba de transfer. That's how I started to hear all that shit, pero cotorreaba más with my own people from my car. And after we got switched to the other, ¿cómo se dice? El otro dorm que está ahí, porque son como 3 or 4 halls allá adentro, 2-story, you know? Y me hacen transfer al otro lado y llegó hasta el fondo and he was my neighbor. Boom, switched up, pam, pam, pam. Y ahí estaba cotorreando con mi compa hasta que ya lo conocía a él. Like, hey, what's up? ¿De dónde eres? Oh, I'm from South, here, this and that, you know, this and that. Y yo like, okay, y pues así, se cuenta, like, él me preguntaba cosas, yo le preguntaba qué onda, shit like that, y pues de repente it just kept clicking on, you know.
Did you believe him when he said he was going to be a rapper?
I did, bro. He does have some good shit. Hasta ahorita, like, damn, bro, I respect that he's getting out there and he's doing his raps.
Now,
bro.
when you seen him on the podcast, what'd you think when you seen him for the first time? Or where did you see him first? Where did you see him first after prison? Like the jail? You seen him in the music video or what?
No, actually, when I was out, a couple, maybe like a month or 2 later, Playboy told me, he's like, hey, we were scrolling through the thing, and I was like, hey, wait, who's that? And he's like, oh, that's Gravedigger. Fool, I know that fool.
Yeah.
No te creo, me dice. I'm dead ass, fool. I met that fool when I was in jail, bro. He's like, neta? Oh, we gotta get on this fool. I let this fool know, y así, a ver si es cierto, a ver qué quiero ver.
Yeah.
Y no, le dije, no, güey, yo no te voy a echar mentiras, güey. Like, fool, I know that fool. I know who he is. Si tú le hablas y le dices, hey, ¿conoces a este güey? He's gonna be, yeah, bro, I know this fool. I was with him.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
proven fact that they cuando hablaste allá, güey, there it is.
Yeah,
and I got him on the fucking live. Remember when I was here and I tell him, Opina didn't even believe me either, fool.
Yeah. Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, yeah,
it's
like, fool, I know Gravedigger. He's like, nah, watch, you want me to get him on the phone? Boom, 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 le marco. Hey, güey, ¿qué onda, güey? Hey, what's up, fool? Y le digo, look, fool.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, shit, you know, like.
Yeah, Gravedigger's a good homeboy.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's
He's
a
cool
down
as fuck,
motherfucker.
yeah.
He was in the hole for busting up Buster, I heard.
Yeah, that's what I heard, yeah.
All right, we're not gonna get into that.
Right.
Okay. Okay. So then you come home. You get out of jail. You come home. How was that? How was coming home after 4.5 years?
I was fucking, no sé, güey, ya me sentía un poco más diferente, güey. Sentí que la escuelita me ayudó, güey.
The jail?
That. Yeah, the jail kind of little helped me out.
¿Para que te alivianaras?
Para que me alivianara, güey.
You went back to Calexico?
Yeah, I did go back to Calexico.
Was things different?
Just a little bit, yeah.
Same people? Different people?
No, it was just different people. Había, no sé, güey, everything just went from one thing, how it was before, till now, like, everything just changed.
Now, okay, so then you got out, boom, and then you're here now. Okay, so I think we missed something.
What?
I keep hearing this, that you went to jail in Alaska and you were in an igloo. Where did that story come from?
I was working over there for some plant que hacían process el pescado, the fish.
But that's before federal prison?
That was way before federal prison.
So you missed that part out of your story.
Yeah, a little bit.
What?
Yeah.
So tell me that timeline. Because now we're going back.
Okay. Well, I went to Alaska when I was after...
How old were you?
I was actually turning 19.
Okay.
I was turning 19 y me fui a trabajar para allá. And I went with the homie Negro.
Oh, my homie Negro?
Yeah.
Damn. I missed the homie.
I think so. No. It didn't go with him. I met some other people.
But my homie Negro was working over there, I heard.
No, I was working with Negro in Minnesota.
Okay.
Sí.
Where?
Yeah, pero when I went to Alaska, I went with these dudes, right? Y allá estaba trabajando.
That's what we're going to do.
What?
No, we're going to leave that there.
Okay.
We'll talk about Alaska and Minnesota on part 2.
All
right, on part 2.
right.
Any last words you want to say?
No, that's it.
But you were in jail in the igloo.
I was in jail in Alaska, yeah.
All right, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this interview with TrapBoiiX6. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I appreciate this interview. We're gonna get our part 2 for sure, and we'll talk about Minnesota and Alaska and my homeboy Negro. We'll do that on part 2. Anything you want to say?
No, just
shout out Gravedigger.
Shout out to the homie Gravedigger for
Playboy.
sure. Yeah,
Playboy. Also, for sure. Honorable mention in this video.
Yeah.
And we'll do part 2 very soon. All right. Appreciate you. Paisa and Southsiders put together.
That's right. Yeah.
Equals green.
Equals green.
Equals green. Money.
Yeah, money.
With that being said, salute to everybody. Like the video, share the video, pass it on to everybody. And part 2 coming very soon. Let's go.
Yeah.